I'm assuming your members are working together. They're looking forward to this upcoming week.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I was going to go with that thought, so I'm going to disregard that.
The facts, dates, and events presented in this video are from the members' best recollection and may not be fully accurate. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. Always consult with your local union about your rights and duties at your workplace. The opinions shared on this video are our own and do not necessarily represent my employer's positions, strategies, or opinions. All views shared are protected under the National Labor Relations Act.
Hey, brothers and sisters, welcome to the next episode of the Bi-Weekly Grievance. I'm your host, Danny Arlin. First, with the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday, I would like to take my time on the show to express my thanks to each and every one of you for watching my show, making it widely popular. We are kissing the 1,100 mark on the subscribers, so please subscribe and like below. I would really appreciate those clicks. Furthermore, with the holidays coming up, we have Thanksgiving coming up this week, and then Christmas and then New Year's. I want you to all take time this week to take a look at your surroundings, appreciate your family and your loved ones. A lot of people have traditions for the holidays. I end up having my Thanksgiving meal with my family, which tends to be very large and loud. We have a lot of fun together. Somebody always argues, loving family stuff. Another tradition I, try to keep up with my son is very often growing up, we set up our Christmas tree on Thanksgiving weekend. And I will be doing that again this weekend with my son. So I wish you all a great Thanksgiving weekend. Enjoy your time with your family. Take a deep breath away from work. But Richard's on the show today to discuss the Greyhound contract situation down in Philadelphia. They have been in contract negotiations with this company. This company has made statements like they don't need the union employees anymore, but yet they're begging them not to walk out during a holiday season this week during one of the busiest travel weekends of the calendar year. Apparently they do need them, so we get into that. I urge you to follow 623 Lives Matter on all social platforms. They have a lot of good information. Richard Hooker has done amazing things for his members and his local, and he's a passionate leader, so you'll enjoy this interview. Hey, brothers and sisters, welcome to another episode of the Bi-Weekly Grievance. This week we have a special guest out of Local 623 in Philadelphia, Richard Hooker Jr. He is the Secretary-Treasurer and Principal Officer of Local 623. He ran under a slate of 623 Lives Matter. He uses it as a slogan. He's very famously known for saying, dues makes you a member, action makes you a teamster. He is also a VP on the AFL-CIO Philadelphia chapter. Richard, thanks for joining us here on the Bi-Weekly Grievance. Pleasure to see you.
Hey, brother, thanks for having me.
Well, we got an interesting week coming up, don't we? It's been the hot summer of labor is kind of rolling into the hot fall and winter of labor. And a lot of that holds true right in the birthplace of labor, Philadelphia. I hear you guys got a nice brand new bus terminal down there. It's got a lot of issues, and one of them happens to be Local 623. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, just to kind of give everybody some context. So, Philadelphia had this large terminal for the Greyhound station, 10th and Filbert. It had docks, it had its own nice little section in Center City where people would come in. It was safe. It was just easy to get to. So right after COVID, not long ago, of course, the company had to downsize because people were not traveling like they normally were. And so about a year ago, there was some talks about downsizing into this agency, Uber, Lyft style curbside model for bus transportation in Philadelphia with this new Flix Greyhound. So First Group used to be the parent company of Greyhound. Well, Flix came in and bought Greyhound. So Flix now is the parent company of Greyhound Bus.
Mm-hmm.
It's this, I believe it's this German company, a lot of money, bought the company, and they want to do this, curbside pickup stuff. No attention to the safety of the public, the safety of the customers, safety of the employees. And so they moved from that terminal to one of the busiest parts of Center City, which is 6th and Market. No places for the passengers to get in, to sit down, to purchase tickets. It was just a big mess. No bathrooms. So just imagine this: 90 degrees outside. It's humid. Somebody has a baby in their hand and they can't go in and sit down with their baby. Can't take them to the bathroom. A person who's disabled can't go in and sit down. It's hot. It's rainy. Now it's getting ready to get, it's colder outside. They can't go in and get the heat. It was a big mess. So what we did was, let me back up. So in all of this, they didn't want to sit down with us and negotiate a new contract because they want to get into this agency model. Now, of course, you just can't do that. I mean, you have to negotiate, especially when you have union members, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not negotiating. We're not going to do this. Well, we put a lot of pressure on them, got with the city. All of a sudden, they changed their mind. So now we're negotiating a contract, contentious here and there. We did a social media campaign. We had some news articles from the city talking about how bad this new location is.
Mm-hmm.
And it was terrible. You're talking about buses hitting police cars, bus hitting passengers. It was just because it's so congested here. Not to mention you have the city bus, you have Peter Pan, you have Mega Bus, and now you have Greyhound and Flix Bus all together.
So is this a case? Is this a case of like at UPS where you got somebody sitting behind a computer making decisions about something they have no idea what they're making decisions about?
There you go.
They're crunching the numbers instead of the reality of it.
There you go. So while they're crunching the numbers, their buses are crunching people's cars. You know what I mean? Just all kinds of accidents. I mean, it's really, really bad. And in any big city, there's a probability of having some crime, homelessness, and that is very prevalent down in that area. So just imagine, I got passengers everywhere, homelessness.
I mean, that's where I want a storefront.
It's terrible, terrible. So, we had a meeting with the city councilman who represents that area. Hey, this is our issues. It's not safe for our members. It's not safe for the public. We need some help. So they got involved, and now they moved again to another location last Thursday. So now check this out. So it's the ticket office is at one spot. In order to catch the bus, you have to walk almost 2 blocks to catch the bus. So I bought my ticket here. I got to come out and walk 2 blocks to catch the bus. And it's only temporary. But again, while all this is going on, we're negotiating a contract. And so our big issues, like anywhere else, high wages, safety, protections, agreements procedure, those things, all the members that we have at Greyhound have been there for over 25 years. And so, this means a lot because prior to us getting in office, wages were very, very low. And it always bothered me that, if a person is paying union dues, then their wages shouldn't be close to minimum wage.
No.
You know what I mean? And so when we first got in and I saw that, man, it bothered me. So one of the things we wanted to do when we first negotiated this contract 3 years ago was make them proud to pay union dues.
Right.
I mean, just if I'm paying union dues for almost minimum wage, then the union is not doing its job. It should be a separation. And to me, there was no separation. So when we first got in office, our very first contract was Greyhound. And it was like 2 months after getting in office. And then guess what? COVID happened all at the same time. So just to give people a context, so we went out there, negotiated brand new language, a higher wage that they never had before. And we had to do a job action. And the members was like, well, what made you do that? We never did this before. And I said, well, nothing against the old, the old regime, but we have to do things differently here. If you want higher wages, if you want that safety language, if you want them to know that you mean business, then we're going to have to, kick them in the mouth sometimes. And that's what we did. We had a contentious bargaining session. And that weekend, we went to the streets. We had the fat cat out. Well, we had a rat back then. They came out. Other unions came out. And it was a great sign of solidarity. By Monday morning, I got a phone call saying, hey, we saw what happened. We heard what happened. Can we sit down and talk again? Absolutely. And so we got done that contract. Now, 3 years later, here we go again. This time, the circumstances are a little bit different. They trying to get to this agency model. They have some very bad language about subcontracting. They want to eliminate our members. So that's what the hangup is right now. They have this sword where they want to come in and just chop up our members, and we're just not here for it. So
now the interesting fact here is that they've made reference to the fact that they don't really need your members anymore, and they want to kind of move on from them and however they plan to replace them. But funny thing is, we're coming up on a pretty busy holiday season, and one of them is next week, and Thanksgiving is typically one of the most populated highway travel days, whether it's by bus, rail, or airplane, for people to go see their families and have a nice dinner. But they're asking you not to withhold your labor during that time. Seems kind of counterproductive to them not needing you anymore.
Correct. And that's why when we had this extension agreement, we wanted to be strategic, and when we withhold our labor. And like you just said, we didn't go in looking to strike. Nobody really looks to go on strike. We look to get an agreement that's fair for everybody. But like you just said, don't say this week, forget you guys. But hold on a minute, next week I'm gonna need you. Doesn't work that way, And so
it's
now,
funny how that works.
Yes, and so now they have to make a decision, right? We have the ATU on our side. They have language in their contracts that says they don't cross the picket lines. And so if we have to set one up, during this busy travel season, that's not our fault. We have members who have given their lives, literally 25 plus years, to this company, and they deserve more than what the company has given.
Absolutely. So I'm assuming contract negotiations are ongoing. Is there any positive movement towards having an agreement to avoid this labor withholding?
I would say yes. I've been in contacts with their labor relations, the head of their labor relations, for the last, 3 weeks, constantly talking about ways to avoid any type of disruption. It got really hot and heavy last week. We was like, hey, man, it's do or die here. Our members are ready to do whatever it takes. Our shop steward actually told them during the negotiations, I've been here 31 years. And I'm not going out without a fight. I'm telling you, when she said that, it hit me. So I know it had to hit them. And she let them know, listen, we're not going down. We're not going down without a fight. And so, again, if we are on a picket line after Thanksgiving, that's on them. Or during that Thanksgiving, after from Black Friday on, or whatever the case may be, that's totally on them. It's not our members. We would just want something that's fair and equitable. That's all
have
we
you
want.
Have you set up a deadline for these talks with the companies, that they're aware of what the timeline looks like?
So we're going back to the table on Monday and Wednesday, and we'll see what happened on Wednesday. If it is not agreeable, then it's on them. It's on them. Whatever happens after Wednesday is on them.
So taking a step back for a second, What goes into a campaign like this? Like when you know you have a contract coming up, how do you prep your members for this kind of action, and what kind of input do the members have on what they're looking for, and how you go about deciding what topics are the hot topics for this contract?
Well, I mean, of course, you have to keep your members engaged through the whole process. I mean, I listen to my members every contract that we have. That's how we focus, the fight around what they want. This certain contract for Greyhound, it was very, very simple. They wanted their years of service, their longevity to be reflected in their wages, right? They don't want basement wages when I'm there for almost 31 years or 25 years. That and safety. Safety was big in our last contract. Now it's wages because, again, these members been there a long, long time, and they want those wages to be reflective. And so how we started it was it actually kind of fell in our lap. Really didn't have to do too much because with the uncertainty of Greyhound keeping, they moved from the terminal, they moved to one place, now they're moving to another place. And then by March, they got to move again. So, what we're looking for right now is just some certainty here because we have to go into effects bargaining every time they move to another location, because this new location prior to the one they're at now, they didn't need any janitorial services because there was no place to sit down. Well,
so that's similar to like a change of operations.
Correct. Similar to a change in operation from UPS world, right? So how does it affect those members? So we had to come up with a different set, I want to say rules, but we had to make sure they was taken care of. Find jobs for them, even though this place doesn't have restrooms or a place to sit. We had to take care of them, you know what I mean? Because they still union members. This place here. So they moved to a place where it has a place to sit. Well, now we got a bargain over the effects here because now we got to talk about bringing some of those people back so they can have a job to clean up and things like that. So, I mean, the main thing in this negotiations, man, it was just to keep everybody together because it's a small group, right? And it's a lot easier than it is at UPS or some of your larger companies because UPS, where you have the feeder guys, don't know too much about the part-time issues. The 223s feel left in the dark on a lot of things, right? So, but in the Greyhound world, everybody is pretty much on the same page. So it's easier. Like dealing with Greyhound was a lot easier than than UPS. Now the company is still they still operate the same,
right.
But it's just the fact that the members are more solidified and unified at Greyhound than they are at UPS. So it was a lot easier to get everybody on board. So it wasn't that hard.
Richard, I want to wish all of your members at Greyhound a positive resolution. I hope we can avoid a job walk-off. Nobody wants that. And I hope that they get the contract they deserve, and I hope that this holiday season and next week they have something truly to be thankful for. I know you're well liked by your members, so I'm sure that they'll be thankful that you're at the table fighting for them this week, and I hope for a positive resolution for you. I appreciate you stopping by the Biweekly Grievance, and I hope you have a great Thanksgiving as well, my friend.
You as well. Keep on fighting, man. And I want to say this before we close up. Man, you have been an inspiration to me personally. I see you as a person that I can look up to. I saw what the company did to you, man. And you just stayed in the fight. You wouldn't give up. I think about you and your kid and how, you was doing it for him. You did it for yourself, but you actually did it for all of us, man. And I wish I could put what you have in a bottle and just sprinkle it all over the labor movement, man. Because if we had 1.3 Danny Arlins, man, there would be no company in the world who could touch us, man. And I appreciate you, man.
I truly appreciate those kind words. It was not an easy path traveled. I did not set out on that journey to make the statement that it made. But what is right is right. My heart's been union for years. I've always wanted more militancy and holding the company accountable. And when they did what they did to me, and I knew I didn't do anything wrong, I was willing to take it to the mat. And I stuck my grounds. And 11 months later, I finally was victorious and returned back to work. And I appreciate your kind words. That means a lot to me. Richard, thank you for stopping by. Solidarity forever, brothers and sisters.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we'll catch you on the next episode of the Biweekly Grievance. Wow, brothers and sisters. Richard did not tell me he was doing that testimonial at the end. I'm grateful for what he had to say. It was a long path to get to where I am today. And I encourage you to, if you don't know my story, I'm going to refer you to the Roswell Hub. They covered my story on 2 different episodes. I will link them below in the description. But I am grateful for all the support I received during that time. I also would like to encourage you. My brother, David Roy, has released a book called SDN, The Upside Down World of UPS. It is a phenomenal read. It's, for those people who say, well, I don't tend to read large books. It reads more like a series of short stories. There's many, many chapters, each individually covering different things that have happened. So please check out that book. It's very reasonably priced on Amazon. It comes in Kindle form, paperback, hardcover, and soon to be coming. Hopefully I'm not spilling the beans here, but Dave will also be adding a audiobook version to his selling platform on Amazon. So please check that out. It's a good read. I think you guys will enjoy it. I would invite you to subscribe to my Biweekly Grievance show page on Facebook, as well as subscribe to my TikTok account and my YouTube channel for this show. I also have started a brand new page on Facebook. I came up with this idea after going to the TDU conference and seeing all these people had different resources for handouts and flyers to print up for leafleting at the gates and educating members. So I decided to put together a page. It's in the early stages. There's not much on it yet, but it's called the UPS Activist Resource Page. I'm not really opening it up for discussions or chats or anything. It's more of a place for people to post flyers that they have created with the permission that people can use them for their own and take the information and make the flyer their own and pass it out. It's an incredible resource for members to use, those people who are activists or local union leadership, rather than taking the time to create their own. Why work harder when we work smarter? That's the Teamsters way. So I hope people contribute to this page and put flyers and educational material on there that people can print, take, and use as their own. And I think it's going to be a great thing. So I hope you participate. It was a brainchild of mine, and I hope it comes to fruition in the ways that I've hoped it will. That's all I have, brothers and sisters. I will leave you with this. I'm eternally grateful for each and every one of you, and I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. And solidarity forever, brothers and sisters. I'll see you on the next episode of the Biweekly Grievance, which will be on Thanksgiving Day. I will be releasing an episode on Thanksgiving Day. Dean Doss out of California, he recently served on the National Negotiation Committee for the UPS Teamster contract. He is a phenomenal person. He knows everything there is to know about the Teamsters. He has read every book twice and every contract twice. He's one of the most intelligent Teamsters I've ever met, and it's a comical show. I think you guys will appreciate it. So there will be 2 episodes of the Biweekly Grievance this week, and the second one will drop on Thanksgiving morning. I wish you all a great holiday season, and I will talk to you soon, brothers and sisters.